One time when my oldest was very young, she walked in on me, you know, getting my nut.
Because I need to, this pussy is not gonna eat itself, okay?
I once if I did keep the evil away.
Showing up being recorded as it should be, because else would we capture this greatness? Lord have mercy. How else would we capture this greatness? Two people waiting in the. This is the second week we starting on time. What the entire? Yes, this is the second week we starting on time. Admit all. Yes, yes, indeed. What's going on, people?
What up? What up?
Hey.
Uh.
What's going on? We are excited. Look, partner. She just a muggle pan with. Look at her. No, her skin is glowing and she just shining.
Breathtaking.
I
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking. The hair is just flowing. That's what I'm talking about.
Lord, help me. Lord, help us.
I mean, the Panama sun has blessed her. Clearly, the Panama sun and weather has blessed her. But no, let's start the show properly. Motherhood
Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building.
Hey,
yes, sir.
The building, power in the flower in the building. And yes, she is in Panama. Yes.
Yes.
In Panama. Yes.
What part specifically are we in?
What was that?
What part specifically are we in?
I am about 30 minutes from Panama City, more or less. San Miguelito. That's where I'm at. Mi abuelas. So
that's right.
It's Mother's Day here. We're celebrating. So you might hear some music, some fireworks.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Thank you. Y tú también, Reina. Kai.
Gracias.
Yes.
So how's that? Look, I'm gonna get into it. How's that Panama dick? Have we tried any? No? Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna back it all the way up. The reason why I was so open and brazen with that question is because Kayla at one point was exploring polyamorous activity, which she was totally open about it, which I respect. And so that's all I was asking.
I mean, yes, that made me curious too. Like, wait a minute. We down there, we looking for new dick too. Oh wow.
I've been inside for too long.
Well, let's talk about all of that. First of all, congratulations on you and the family, because that's no easy feat to just up and go, even if it's your homeland. Motherfuckers have Americanized themselves. We've westernized ourselves, right? Yeah. So it's like it's not easy to do. I have fantasies about going to my island. But then again, there's like lots of logistics, right? And then it's like there are certain things where it's like, yeah, it may sound like a good idea, but when you're in the thick of it, it's like, what is it really like on a day-to-day? So what would you describe is your typical day in Panama?
When I'm at my home, which is about an hour away, that's where I live with my daughter. And my mom.
Can you hear us, Queen? Because I can't really hear.
Yeah, the sound went in and out just now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little better now.
Yes.
Okay, so typically I live about an hour west in Panama West in a small house then I'm renting from my family, and I live there with my daughter. And then my mom alternates every other week to come help me. And I pretty much just wake up and be with my daughter. We start breakfast. I go outside and look at my garden, all the things I'm tending to. And sometimes I, have a few puffs of my bowl. I do a little micro dosing. Because I had to get a little plug out here.
I was gonna say.
So yeah, that's how I start my day, and we have breakfast and we do a little dancing. And then the day rolls in and baby girl goes down for a nap, and sometimes I take a nap too, and otherwise I'm outside smoking again. I'm just planting a lot of things. I'm figuring out how to make it here, make it on my own. Her father is on the West Coast right now, so we're separated. We've uncoupled. So a lot has happened in the 8 months I've been here. Significant changes.
Wow.
Just a lot has happened, and I'm trying to make it on my own. I'm trying to be financially empowered and independent, because things aren't happening the way I was hoping. And so, yeah, have been really trying to get my mental health in check. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to do all the things I can possibly do with what I got.
Girl, you know what?
Girl.
I empathize with you big time, and you know what I'm saying. Although it wasn't the same thing exactly for me, but it felt a lot like it, as you described it. Because when I picked myself up and my family and moved to Seattle, you know what I mean? I had a set plan in my head of how I was going to, do things in order to, not only adjust to Seattle life, but you know what I'm saying, to start anew, and you know what I mean? And, you know, and not for nothing, when I got there is when I realized, there was a lot of things that I could have took time to research and didn't. You know what I'm saying? Not just, how to make money and whatnot, but just, environment, you know what I mean? Things, you know what I'm saying? The difference between, living in a city that, the transportation goes 24/7 and goes damn near everywhere where you need to go, versus going someplace where, you got to figure it out, but with a bus schedule. And even then, you still might need, an Uber or something, depending on where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on that. And then on top of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, when I was in Panama and visiting my mom, she made one of the things she let me know is that, Panama doesn't really have like a welfare system or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's, you know what I mean? You gotta come down, you gotta have a job, you know what I mean, or you gotta figure out how to make money. So I could see, I could hear it, in your description that, there's a struggle, a situation right there going on. And then on top of the fact, like you said, you're no longer with your husband, and you're trying to navigate all of that shit. So it's definitely been a road that you wasn't prepared to travel necessarily, but you traveling it. So
Yeah.
how is it? So describe that for us. Like how, like what's your mental status as you go through, what you're doing in order to, maintain yourself and in your new home? Because it's not like, I'm assuming that none of these adversaries is getting you to give up and, wanting to go back or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You fighting through. So what's your mental status and how you going about this shit?
I am pretty enraged. And I'm fighting to not be resentful, to not be ashamed of myself and my decisions, and how I got here. And even though I'm here, it's still very difficult to live. Um, and I'm only given a very significant small amount of funds to carry out just my daily living and monthly expenses. And I feel so behind. I feel like I was so ambitious prior to being a mother, and I don't know how to financially make the choices I need to make without sacrificing the values that I desperately and most dearly am trying to save as being a mother. Because I don't want my daughter to go through what I went through, which was, being sent to a babysitter and then being sent to school and then being with my mother for a very small fraction of the time throughout the day. I'm really trying to, I don't know, my mental health has been pretty much a roller coaster. Um, it's been really just, I'm really reflecting a lot. I'm really sitting with my emotions, and doing that as a mother has been really hard, to be honest. And doing that still isolated. I'm still isolated, believe it or not. Um, because none of my family lives near me, and it's still difficult for people to take a drive over where I'm at.
Mm.
So being isolated, being not supported enough through my child's father, um, and then trying to figure out how to make it in a Spanish speaking country. I'm very limited. I feel very restricted. I am trying my best, and I feel clueless, and I'm trying. I'm really trying to make it work, because I fear of going back to the United States, to be honest. I fear going back and then still being helpless, still being isolated. And I really don't know who to depend on, even if I did went back to the United States. Um, so yeah, my mental health, I'm really trying to tackle that, honestly. And microdosing has been a significant support system for me, a tool to help me just take a moment, sit with my plants, and, you know, hoping something comes through. It's been pretty difficult, um, to be honest. And it's in a huge reflection as to a lot of people a lot of people assume that it may be easier living in a different country, but if you don't know the language fluently, um, it is it is hard. It's hard for me.
Of
And
course.
I I just got my Panamanian citizenship.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Okay.
I just opened a bank account, but then I'm left as to how do I get a job? I don't have transportation. I don't have a car. I don't speak the language fluently, and I know how to hustle, but I don't know how to hustle. I don't know how to hustle here. And it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Of
No, you know what, Kayla? Don't be embarrassed because no, seriously. I know it's easy to say that, but I mean that. You're like again, you're taking on this very challenging feat that is not easy, with or without the support of family. And so also in a place where mental health, I presume, isn't like the top five of the subjects of the day because people have
Hmm.
shit to do. And it sounds like my culture as well. in the sense of everybody's family oriented and it's all communal. However, there's these things that we can't address, that we don't address, you know, and everything's like slipped under the rug. So I just want to tell you, Queen, please don't feel embarrassed. Like, it's just you're inspiring so many people because you're honest about the situation. Not everything's gonna be all fucking sunshine, duh. So it's like to be able to just be vulnerable in the moment and just be like, you know what, I'm really still trying to figure it out. There are some things that I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, just off the bat are better than the US. Number one, obviously the weather. Number two, there's probably a different frequency that you feel there. And you being able to just garden and you be able to be there with your child and to live off the land actually is the ultimate goal for a lot of people. So do celebrate yourself in that regard, how you're able to still keep unplugged to an extent. Also, I'm sure you've considered like work from home jobs. You have the internet. If you can get a steady, you know, internet connection. If you need help with that resume, we got you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
I'm
I
like,
agree.
Because I was getting ready to say, honestly, mom, because I don't know if my mother still does this, but I'll find out from her. You know what I mean? Because from what I know, she used to work at some kind of call center, and the reason why she was working, she was able to work there was because she could speak Spanish and English. So my is, you know what I mean, if some, you know what, if anything, I would think that the one thing you could be working on while you're down there is your Spanish, so that, you know what I'm saying, you could possibly look into some shit like that, you know what I mean, because you know, I don't know where the call center is, and my mama don't have no car. So she travels by bus or walk, like literally. That's one. I like in the little bit of time that I was there, I definitely learned that, you know what I'm saying, where she stay at, there's a bus route. Now again, like the same thing when I moved to Seattle. Yes, there's a bus route, but the bus route run on schedule, and you can't just walk up to the bus and just hope the bus is gonna show up in the next 15 minutes. You know, you gotta know when the motherfuckers actually come.
hey,
You
and
know,
you know what? It's great to be creative too. Kayla, you're a freaking amazing person, but you also fine as hell. So here you go. Here's a proposal. Get you it. And I don't mean to OnlyFans you, but I don't have nothing against OnlyFans. I'm just saying you don't even have to like be fucking on yourself or doing anything. You can be sensual and you can have really deep conversations. You could have like give somebody the girlfriend experience since you all the way the fuck out there. You know what I'm saying? And utilize your
Okay.
just natural talents to just make your own thing going. You should
Uh-huh.
definitely have your own fucking podcast. I don't know what the fuck you doing.
Well, to be honest, you guys said some great things, and yes, I could do those things, and I attempted, but the worst part about it is I'm almost close because where I live, it sucks. I have significant blackouts. I have significant, my electricity goes out for, I don't know, it could be ranging from minutes to hours, at least several times a week. I don't have running water for at least 12 hours a day, sometimes longer than that. So like, you know,
so
I'm
depending on
trying
the
to
internet
install something.
is a struggle.
It
Okay.
is. It's like
I see.
ridiculous because I'm like I'm almost, I get that close and then like something comes up where it's just not meant to happen.
Mm,
So I started painting, and then I started, now for Christmas I started decorating all the bottles that I have, and I started
nice,
painting them, and
Beautiful.
you know, I make a little light.
nice. You
So
can
that's
probably
the
sell
only
those.
thing
Okay,
that
okay.
I've gotten so far. And I've sold at least three now at for $10. So, you know,
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
getting somewhere.
about.
It's just slower, a lot slower than I want it to be.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of course.
And then because like I said, the little bit of time that I spent in Panama where in because my mother lives in San Antonio, so
Mhm.
close to her is that the mall or whatever mall that she took us to and whatnot that literally led us by the bus. Like they had some little clubs and whatnot, you know what I mean? And people, selling little this and that in the streets. So
Was
I'm
it
just
by the Popeyes?
yes, by the Popeyes. Yes, the mall with the Popeyes. Yes, definitely. So yeah, and I saw people selling shit in the street. So even if like I'm just saying, girl, like I think honestly, I commend you. I big time commend you for wanting to, what I'm saying, stay off off the grid, and what I'm saying, keeping your daughter close, and what I'm saying, and just wanting to live, an established, you know, just a wholesome and established type of life. You know what I'm saying? I get it,
Mhm.
but I think if anything, in order for you to to get to that portion of life, you gotta, what I'm saying, you gotta make certain sacrifices. And I feel
Mhm.
like certain sacrifices might involve, what I'm saying, it might involve, school and shit, might involve, a babysitter, you know what I'm saying, something
Mhm.
where you know what I'm saying, because first and foremost, you need, like you said, those times that you get to go outside and partake of the plant and have your 5 minutes to yourself. That's part of your self love, self esteem push. That's what you
Mhm.
need in order to keep the depression away. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
just for those moments alone, you know what I mean, you need to structure those things, you know what I mean? And then on top of the fact, like you said, you are living in a country now that you know what I'm saying, for a fact you gotta speak Spanish in order to figure it out. And you know what I'm saying, and you might need to, do a little bit of street hustling in order to get yourself some regular money coming in. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
If you're not able to actually go to a spot and get a job, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
that's what I
you,
said.
you definitely, because I figure like this: once you start making a certain amount of money, you'll be able to structure your calendar, structure your schedule, where you know what I'm saying, you'll still be able to spend as much time as you want to with your daughter, and still be able to handle your business. And if you want to do something financially, you got a actual path to get to do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yes, it's fucked up that, I mean, based on what you're saying, it sounds like your husband is not automatically cutting off money to help you out. It's fucked up that it's like that, and based on the fact that he in America and you not, you gonna find it hard pressed to even push him on that. Never mind the fact that what I'm saying, even when you was in America, you didn't do certain paperwork to even involve government and all of that to get all that done. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I realized
you might have to not give up, but I'm just saying make certain sacrifices in order to big up to actually build the actual picture in life that you want to live, because you need money, queen.
Mhm.
You
real
need
talk.
you
Yeah.
That's
absolutely
Yeah.
need
Dude,
money,
this
queen.
single mom thing has made me consider selling some of this coochie for real. But
I've
I
been
won't
saying that to my
because
mother. Absolutely.
but I won't because I have too much to lose. I don't diss people who do that, but that's why I talked about the electronic route. But also, sex aside, you could also consider this. Maybe your client isn't Panamanian. Maybe it's the
Mhm.
Americans that come in there. Maybe it's by way of not that way, but by way of tour guide, setting up
Uh-huh.
these places that you already know that it's cracking. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you need to team up with and build a team out there because you realize that
Mhm.
there's some days that you just don't want to do shit and you need to just sit there and hold yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I propositioned myself to my mother, and she's like, "Well, they don't pay much here. You might get $10." I'm like, "What?"
What's the
So
dollar? What's the exchange? The dollar to
Now,
whatever.
ain't no exchange,
it's the
Ruby.
same,
It's
but
the
it's
same,
like the
the same
poverty.
American dollar. Matter of fact, remember I told you matter of fact, remember I
She
told you the
did say
story
that.
when I went into the store and
Gave them the
matter of fact, not
$50.
the store. Yeah, it was we was in a restaurant. Me and husband in a restaurant. We gave the dude the $50 bill.
That's
Your man
right.
by years to bring us back change because them people they ain't used to seeing nothing bigger than a 20. So
Uh-huh.
in there with a $50 bill, they looking at you like, where the fuck you got this from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fuck did you even get this? So no.
Uh-huh.
So
Dang.
nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But at the same time, like I said, the little street malls and whatnot that I did see, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers, people be outside hustling. People
Oh
definitely
yeah.
do
Oh yeah.
outside
Very hustle
hustling.
culture.
You know what I mean? So she don't necessarily gotta get a job, but she definitely, you know what I'm saying, gotta create a product to be
Yeah.
somewhere, selling it and making some kind of coin. Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is in order for you to get to where you want to be, you gotta be bringing in some kind of paper. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would think though that your two focuses right now would be exactly to get as affluent in Spanish as possible, and then create a product that's going to bring you some sort of cheddar. Now, as far as your mama is concerned, you said your mama is helping you once a week when she comes in and helps you. So, what does she do? Like, does she do anything, or is she working for somebody, or she could give you leads to something? Because that don't make sense. That she can't hook you up to something.
No, she's right now she's trying to get back to the United States to then send me money. So then I'm back to square one with support. And I wish I could take my daughter to a babysitter, but homegirl freaks out about anybody, like screams and just is terrified of anybody. So like I'm battling that and I'm trying to get her more social, but to do all those things costs money too. But I've slowly gained some neighbors, and we had someone die, a young father. He got stabbed several times, our corner store down our road. So we've had some violence. I've been trying to lay low. I've been trying to deal with that. And then, in the midst of that, I was able to meet neighbors, and he left behind two young children. So the one daughter has came over, and try to play with my daughter, but she's not used to that. She's not used to visitors. She's not used to other kids. Um, and then me, I'm still struggling with Spanish, conversational Spanish. So like, I don't know. I'm slowly, things are just too slow for me. And, you know, just a lot of things are just different. Things, I don't know. I'm trying not to make excuses, but like all these bumps in the roads are like ridiculous. I'm really just fed up. I'm just like, how about I just leave to go somewheres, I don't know, and then leave my daughter somewheres, and I don't want to do that. Like
Hell
my
no.
mental
Oh
health
hell
is
no.
like, I know my
No.
mental health has been really like, just I don't know what to do at this point. Like I just feel like it's pointless to be a mother, honestly, how I feel, because no, there's the village. Where the hell is the village? Where is the support? People don't want like women to have sex, and then I'm just like, okay, well, women have to have sex. And then if they do become pregnant, like it's such a curse. I mean, especially here in this country, um, they do not it's really, really different how they go about things, and with sex and with children and with multiple fathers in and out. And I mean, there's places here that are literally just built to have sex. Like they're motels, but they're motels that you rent out for like a few hours or like a half hour, and you go there and have sex for like $12 an hour. Like I it's really weird and it's really
That's a business
interesting.
concept for you.
I mean,
Yeah, I
I'd do that. Real
I
talk.
I'm all over the
mean,
place.
but at the same time, Ruby, the mental state. See, again, I personally would be afraid just because, again, a man is stronger than a woman, and you know what I'm saying. So therefore, you gotta you gotta you know what I'm saying, pay attention, and that this motherfucker don't turn crazy and just kill you or try to kill you, and you know what I'm saying. And you gotta have weapons in order to fucking defend yourself and all that bullshit. So that's always the thought in my head in that situation. It's like, yeah, you gonna give me money for my good punani, but at the same time, do you have other intentions and shit? And I ain't in the mood to find out about your other intentions. But in your situation, yo, I feel you. I really do.
That's
And
tough.
it's like, because you know what I'm saying, you definitely, you know what I mean, yes, as a mother, so, you know what I mean, you hear, especially you hear about people, you know, saying that it takes a village, and you know what I'm saying, you thinking that you going, you know, that you going to get all this help, and then when they get down to it, sometimes it's just you and the baby, and you got to figure it out. And that's exactly where you at right now. It's just
Yeah.
you, your kid, and you in Panama, and you got to figure it out. But
And your ancestors, you know what I'm saying?
but at the same time, Queen, you got to say to yourself that
Mhm.
you got to make some hard decisions about your situation. Like for instance, your kid, the fact that your kid ain't used to being with other people, you got to fix that. You gotta fucking fix that. There's no fucking way that nah.
For her benefit, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, no matter how much, yeah, it might be a situation where she gonna yell and scream, but at the same time, we in the world. She's gonna be around other people. Like she can't
Correct.
live her whole life being next to you, being on your hip, and you know what I'm saying? Because in real talk, that's not bringing her up in the real world. That's
Mhm.
not bringing her up in the real world if you think that she gonna be on you every minute. I like
Mhm.
We
like
just love you. That's why we sharing that,
you know what I mean? And then at the same time, I experienced that with my oldest, Africa. Her birthday was yesterday, 27
Happy
years old.
birthday.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember when she was younger, that the first when I first would drop her off at the babysitter, she would bawl down the place as I'm walking out the door. But I'd be walking out the door looking at her like, look here, lady, I gotta go make money in order for us to live. And so as much as you crying, I'm ignoring that shit, and I'm about to be out the door. And it used to be funny to me because the babysitter, she would be bawling down the place, but as soon as the babysitter closed the door, she would stop crying and go in the corner and mind her business. Like she would chill the fuck out. And it wasn't until I was coming back, when I would come back and she would hear me at the door, she started bawling again, like she was crying all day. And everybody in the house would know, like, girl, bye. Who you pretending with? You feel me? I mean, and I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with your child, but at the same time, I say that you gotta make some hard decisions about how you going about things, because at the end of the day, one of the reasons why I am assuming that you know what I'm saying, that you don't have the help that you're looking for, is because of the type of decisions you made on how you raising this child. Now
Mhm.
I'm not it now of course it's your child, you can do what you want with her, but at the same time, you kind of put yourself in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, you didn't really add too many people in the, you know, that you could come and help. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really
Yeah.
add as many people as based on you wanted to be off the grid. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as much as you know, you don't want to admit it. You got having the child having a birth certificate, the child having a social security number. Because if the child had a social security number right now, you could have got child support. Fuck the frail. You could have wrote to the government, and the government would have had you would have been mailing you a check somehow for child support, direct deposit, something for child support. Because that motherfucker, he owe you child support. The fuck you mean? If he working somewhere and putting in some kind of money somewhere, and the feds and Social Security's getting it, child support should be getting it too. You know what I'm saying? And fuck it, and fuck it. I mean, let me find out you possibly don't have an American address. If I was you, I would try to file for welfare and say, look, this is my address somewhere in America. What? Nah, girl, you got to figure it out a way. You got to make some hard decisions. Say hello to husband as he walk in the door. You know what I'm saying? You got to make some hard decisions and change the way you doing shit. Because first and foremost, you need money, fam. You cannot. You live in paradise, but you're not feeling paradise feelings because you struggling for money, and at the same time you ain't got the help that you actually need. And in order to get the help that you actually need, you got to make some hard decisions. Because I'm telling you, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, you're not helping that child by making that child be around you 24/7. You're not helping that child by enabling them and making her think that it's all good to be around mommy and not want to have a friend or you know what I'm saying? You're not.
I noticed that being around my kids, I would feel really touched out.
Yourself too, girl. You need a break.
Yeah, being touched out is the thing. And you shouldn't feel like, so I see you with we see the intention of the village and all of that coming through. And then also, you know, in full disclosure, there's a lot of reasons why I do the things I do because due to my trauma, because of people mistreating me. And so there's like a lot of distrust with humans sometimes, you know, totally. So it's like, I know that things are already working out for you. I can feel that energetically because I already have a connection with you. And so we know that, you know. There are times where Kai has definitely just drilled common sense into my head because I'm so out there, for real. I'm really everywhere all at once. Sometimes I want this, sometimes I want that. But at the end of the day, I think that's why it's good to have like homies that are like, hey, yo, in this matrix of a society, like right now, snapshot, this is just what it is, baby girl. And it's not to put you down because we know what it feels like. You know what I mean? Definitely know.
Yeah.
And yo, real talk. If I said, because I've been told that I'm an asshole the way I say some shit. So if I said it and it rubbed you the wrong way, my bad. That wasn't my intention. My intention.
No, I hear you, Kai. I hear you.
Because at the end of the day, I would love to do what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did it when I moved to Seattle. I jumped to Seattle and didn't really, you know what I'm saying, think out every single detail. I automatically went out there with a New York mentality and thinking that I was going to find New York ways. And Seattle is not New York in no way, shape, or fashion. You feel me? And that's what happened to you. You moved to Panama, and you realize, you know what I'm saying, Panama is a different space. You feel me? And so therefore it's not the same. And truly at this point, you need a couple of things to actually, you know, kick off your life and actually make you feel comfortable in the paradise that you live in. Because real talk, you living in a fucking paradise, but at the same time you're not feeling it because you're mentally, spiritually, and emotionally struggling. And in order to get out of those roads, you got to make some hard decisions about your life, and you got to definitely do it for, because at the end of the day, the name of the game when it comes to motherhood is making your kids' life better than yours. And
Absolutely.
if you doing something to your child that you know is wrong, you got to correct that shit. You gotta do something about it. You gotta acknowledge and correct. Because best believe when they get older and they feel some type of way about that shit, they can remind you.
Oh yeah, it's all gonna come out.
7-year-old that I very much had a very, very, very difficult. Yeah, this is where you fucked up conversation at. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Because she old like me, so she had no problem letting me know, like, nah, motherfucker, I'm grown. I could tell you how I feel, and you gotta listen. And trust me, this is not you don't want to have this conversation 20 years from now. You don't want to have this conversation that you didn't make the right decisions. And you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, huh? You want to, I would, if I were you, I would be thinking about every fucking way to make myself, because I would never be thinking about coming back to America. America goes, America
You know what? Taylor, I think you should also do
I find my way to move myself and children to Panama. No, I'm gonna have to deal with Maritza. Maritza gonna have to help me find a job. We're gonna have to. No, Maritza, I'm not going back to America. No, because we here.
Would you work at Popeyes?
I would try to work at Popeyes. I would dead ass be like, nah.
I don't even know what that is.
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
No, because dead ass when we were in Panama, my mother took the kids to Popeyes, and literally I was on the Popeyes was on the 5th floor. I'm on the 2nd floor shopping, and I stopped the chick like, yo, which floor is it? Of course, I used my Google Translate, like, which floor is it? And she was, and I was like, where's Popeyes? Matter of fact, I walked up to her and just said Popeyes, and she was looking at me like, I was like, but I know I'm talking. I know I'm saying something that makes sense. Popeye. This girl looked at me, and then I typed it in my phone, and then she said, no, Popeyes. Es arriba, Popeyes. No, Popeye. ¿Qué es eso? Queso, man. No entiende.
Taylor, I thought you knew what that was.
Bitch, like, bitch, if you said Popeyes, I would have told you it's upstairs. But you talking about Popeyes. I don't know that word. I don't know that word.
Oh my.
I don't know that word.
Hilarious.
That ass. You know what I'm saying? Shit. If somehow I found myself completely say, okay, boof, I'm in Panama, I'm living in Panama, I bought a one-way ticket to Panama, me and the children, me and Maritza would have to figure it out. Nah, because I'm not going back to America. Nope. I'm not going back to America. So
what do you miss the most?
Nation and changing certain things about how you running shit. You gotta figure it out and make that paper, baby. You gotta get. You gotta get.
I realize I've been escaping a lot because I don't know. I guess as a mother, I feel different. I've been different, and I just have been escaping a lot, and I've just been demanding support, and I realize I'm the only one that is able to pull myself out of this. And you are right. I do have to make a lot of, different choices.
But
I just find myself very difficult. It's been very difficult. Um, and I've been mad at myself because I'm like, well, I've held many jobs before, and I've held many jobs at once before, and I'm like, why can't I support myself? And and to me, as still a wife, I'm still in this mentality of, yes, I should be taken care of. And you know, homie back home has been, saying a lot of frightening things to me. And I think that's really has put a huge mental and spiritual and emotional block for me. Like I feel like just I've been scared, and I I don't know, like nothing has gone in my favor. So like I shut down very easily, and I just feel like I have to start over again. And I'm like, well, where do I start? And I'm like, well, this isn't helping me. So, I'm such a hermit, and I'm like, I need to transform out of this hermit shell. And I know I'm a butterfly. I know I'm a phoenix. So like I don't know. Like I said, going on the slower path and just things ain't going fast as I want it. It's just I am I don't know. That's why I wanted to come on this podcast, because I'm like I've just had it. I've had enough with myself, and I need to let it out, and this is how I let it out. And I've had enough of struggling, and I want out of survival mode. I really want out of this because I deserve better. My daughter deserves better. In my community, I have so much to offer and give. My community here could use my help and my knowledge. And that's the whole point of me leaving and living in the US, was to bring all of everything I've learned and endured back home, because a lot of these girls could use it. A lot of these women, my family, could use all the knowledge and all the power that we possess. And as a reminder, I just haven't believed in myself because no one is showing me that they believe in me. So like I've I've reflected on a lot, and I'm just trying to burst the bubble that I have held myself safely in. And I do have to step out and do some uncomfortable things. Um yeah, I'm in the process. I'm definitely in that process, and it's been ugly, it's been messy, way before it got cute and sunny. So here I am.
Real talk.
Girl, let me tell you something. We believe in you.
Hell yeah. There you
We
go. We
believe in
believe
you.
in you.
We
Thank you.
shit. A part of me is jealous because again, you live in Panama.
Living the
I
dream.
know.
Just said
Venga.
that you
Venga
got your
conmigo.
Panama citizenship and that you
Man.
your bank account. You are an established resident of your homeland. Like
Mhm.
like how my
Can't
mom
wait to visit
is.
you.
My mother is a resident of Panama. She don't
That's
like
right.
walks
For real.
and come as she please, but at the same time, the difference is that you still are young and you still gotta establish yourself again.
You
Mhm.
are doing that.
You're doing that. And it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. It's definitely, you know what I'm saying, and it don't even matter that you was that because you was in Panama, because like I said, it was a struggle for me when I was in Seattle, just trying to figure out, how to travel, what I'm saying,
Uprooting.
what would be feasible when it came to looking for work, and you know what I'm saying, and
Culture shock.
and just you know what I'm saying, just all of that was something that just started from scratch. Was I scared? Was I bothered? Was I depressed during the whole shit? Hell the fuck yeah. But guess what? I knew I had to do it because motherfuckers was depending on me. I'm pointing to their rooms and shit. motherfuckers were depending on me, and that was before. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I even coming back here, even when I came back here, yes, I know New York City like the back of my hand, but I was still getting on trains and being like, oh shit, am I going the right way? Fuck, this might be the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? That ass. Like there was some that ass struggles with figuring shit out because again, shit is different in 2023, 2024, well, whenever I came back, 2021. Either way. You know what I'm saying? Shit is different. And you know what I'm saying? So I had to realign myself. And then of course with the plantations, you gotta fucking, establish, oh, why you went to Seattle and then you came back here. So how do we know you're not going back at this and that and the other and then of course with COVID they established this bullshit ass shot that motherfuckers had to get, and then they turned around after everybody got it. Then they said, "Oh, nah, nobody have to get it no more." You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, it's all about the fact that you on the floor, you understand the assignment, and you get up and save life. You hit like a bitch. Let's go. The fuck, life, bitch. I still got shit to do. I still got shit to do. And in your situation, you got a whole one little baby. I mean, she look about how old is she? About 4? 2. So we talking about young. So we got time to train her. We got time to train her and retrain her. You feel me? So that's one good thing, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, then the main thing you got to say to yourself that she got to see that your mama is not playing about nothing. Your mama is not this knock her down. Your mama is down, but she ain't gonna let this keep her down. That's what we not gonna do. We gonna figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to move on. And at any point in time, girlfriend, any point in time, feel free to reach out to either one of us.
Absolutely.
Talk. Feel free to reach out at any point if you need to talk. Because at the end of the day, I understand where you was at. I did that. I'm still doing that because, again, I came back to New York and had to start over again, right over again, even in a place that I'm familiar with. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day, there's spots in New York that I'll go to and be like, nah, I gotta have my GPS to help me because what the fuck? What happened? This shit don't look like I remember. So the fuck? This shit is over here and that shit was over there. I don't know none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Again,
I was also gonna tell Kayla,
let you know what I'm saying, keep you down.
Oh, fuck no. I was gonna tell you, Kayla, too, some advice. As far as like just you're actually in a really good place where you can like just think of like something top 3 things or top whatever things that you would just do for free. So if you would do these things for free, it's just a way to find out how to get paid for it. So in terms of a hustle. And so whenever it comes to like brainstorming, Kai and I are happy to do that with you as well. On a business tip on how to make nothing from something. Also, I would say on the note of like living it. So my culture, it would be just like that too in terms of the sexuality. It's very repressed, but people as horny as fuck. You can feel it. And so it's like at the same time, it's like, don't let repression further, or, just modern repression, I guess, hold you back. You might find that, you might find a traveler that's coming in, just like, homegirl got family over there, someone might come over there, visit their family, you know what I mean? You might, find that, but allow yourself the freedom to be sexually liberated. Maybe it might be a good time to introduce sex toys, body safe sex toys that we can ship to you from the US. So even though it feels like you're alone, you're not. Because then why the fuck are you talking to us right now? And so it's like I remember when we had the desire to do a GoFundMe around Christmas time and there were no donations, and it was upsetting, but it was like, I had to stop for a minute because I was like, Ruby, you're about to lose your apartment. You have to, before you go, trying to help any motherfucker, you gotta make sure your shit's in order just to be 1,000. So it's obviously why I couldn't financially help at the moment, even though shit's looking all twinkly and pretty. It ain't. So it's just like I really enjoy
I
these
hear you.
conversations, and I just want to tell you from like a queen stance as well is like just like Queen Kai said, you're getting your big girl panties on, you're getting your pussy grabbing it, and you're saying, "Look, I got this. I've already come this far," and so you are totally there for a reason. Why on earth? How did Panama, as beautiful as a country it is, how did they get so lucky to get Kayla on their grounds? You feel me? So keep that in mind when you start beating yourself up. Stop fucking beating yourself up, because then you got a problem with us. Like we don't do that. That's not the mentality that a queen needs to have. It's okay to be sad sometimes. Don't kid
Yeah.
yourself. But like, dude, you can only wait in that for so long. Kai always keeps me I would say to reality, but it's like I also have to remember to pull myself back too. Like Rude, you have to talk, when you talk to yourself, and we lie to ourselves all the time. So if we don't even lie to ourselves, just make it positive. Just, you know what I'm saying? And
I
also,
wouldn't say we lie to ourselves. I say, if anything, ourselves be quick to tell us the truth. Like, hey,
yeah, you're right.
whatever you was trying was some fuck shit, right?
Well,
No,
depression, when I'm depressed, I be lying to myself. I be like, and I'm like, Dad, why are you sitting here soaking when you're not even about that? That's what I'm talking about. But I don't mean, I'd rather have the truth anyway. Kayla, do you, what is one thing that you miss from the US? Living in the US experience.
There's no much blackouts. There's running water. The food is usually well tested and regulated. Um, the extra support, like food stamps, that you could count on. Well, that was more than one thing, but to be honest, and I miss the dispensaries and just the openness of smoking my cannabis. Like, man, it's pretty. It's tolerable here, but it's like I gotta keep it on the DL. I gotta light my incenses, and I just want to be loud and proud, and just I don't know, like those are the like
It's
three
humbling,
main
it
things.
sounds like.
but hold up though. Let me ask you, because I definitely remember on Instagram, like either I reached out to them or they reached out to us. However, I found them, but it was like a company that is in Panama, and they are involved in cannabis, whether it's medicinal cannabis, but it's definitely cannabis. And I remember, it was definitely an Instagram account. So have you, looked into that, or what I'm saying, or even, heard about anything like that?
A couple of months ago, I was like trying to research, because I thought there was gonna be like a conference or something here, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, where's this shit? Where is the shit? And I'm like, where are they growing this shit? So I'm trying to do research, and like nothing really comes up. I remember reading that there's like 7 companies, and um and then I was trying, but they're like all way up north, like 8 hours away from where I live, like towards Costa Rica. And they're kind of like on the DL. They don't really have anything popping, and I don't know any connections really. And I can't really find them or much information. But the one place I would love to go, and I think I would thrive, and I have made connections, was Colombia. And that's one of my inspirations for 2025 is to go work on a cannabis farm down there. I find that would be extremely accessible for me. and affordable, because that's even, the money goes a long way, like down in Colombia compared to here in Panama. People come
Mhm.
here to work and live and then send money to Colombia. So that's pretty significant. And,
That sounds awful, Queen. You
yeah,
know
that's one of
what?
the aspirations.
That reminds me of something. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but shout out to Jorge. It was my Colombian lover. Long
Oh,
story short, I met this guy. I was doing this customer service job. He was buying sex toys because I was selling them wholesale for this company. And he
all
just liked my
right.
voice because duh. And motherfucker was living in Florida at the time. He came to my job. Like we had this like ongoing telephone conversation, right? Long story short, he comes to my job because he obviously knows where I work. He
Mm-hmm.
he just leaves flowers and then he waits
Mm-hmm.
for me to like respond. And
Okay.
girl, I'm telling you, there's been few that have rocked my world, dude. Colombian men and women are
Mm.
incredible. And excuse me, I never felt like I met him at a time where I wasn't ready for him. Like I was going through a severe mental health issues. I was like faking it a lot, you feel me, like that, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really love myself. And so he helped me to be he helped teach me a lot of things. And so I just wanted to shout out the lot. I don't think Latin men get enough credit, you know what I mean? Ah, y'all
Say
some
word.
fuckers, dude. And I like you on all the colors, everything, just like the black and the Samoans, like all
Mm-hmm.
the
That is what's
bleachers.
up.
Feel
But
me?
no, but no, and because I'm clearly usually about the business, I want to go back to what she was talking about. No, because you shit. I even told yo, I even told somebody today because one of our upcoming guests is my hairdresser, Miss Sabali
Woo!
Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And
Uh-huh.
and of course, she while she was doing my hair yesterday, she was like, "Okay, Kai, now listen, give me the tea. What's gonna happen on this podcast with us?" And I literally said to them, I was like, "Well, let me tell you like this." Kai Storm is gonna take care of business. Ruby Doll, she gonna get into your pum pum business. Like that's her really.
I
That's
so am.
that's literally, where she.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's her.
But
That's her
said,
that's her specifications. That's what she handles. You feel me? You
you
know,
know what I'm saying? Kai already tells
yes,
me to fuck off all the time. She's
I'm
like,
just
shut up, I ain't
saying,
answering that move. But hey, our guests can tell me to fuck off too, or they can participate. I'll gladly share. In fact, I'm the TMI person. I'm telling all my tea on here.
basically.
Mm.
No, so wait a minute about this about going to Colombia and working in the weed farms.
Yes, that's also a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Now, how far? Now, because of course I don't know maps and how you would navigate that whole thing. So how far is Colombia from Panama? Or would you have to relocate in order to do that? And once you relocate and you working at the farm, you damn sure gonna have to get daycare or something for the baby because she can't be on the farm with you straight up and down. But let's talk about that.
Wow. So I did this one thing when it's called woofing, and it's like woofing. I think it's WW, no, I think it's WOOF, woof. You can look it up.
Walking dogs and stuff.
And so I did this like internship thing. I When I was in New York, I went up to um the North Country, and I worked on a farm for like a weekend um with my ex and Rosa, my daughter. And we stayed in this like salt box cabin. It had like a wood stove, and all we had to do was help them out, and then we prepped a meal with them, and we had free time. So I was like, well, what if I apply that same vision that I had for myself when I was in New York to down here? So I looked them up. They're international, and there's several places where they have needs that also include cannabis help. So I was like, I have definitely experience in that department. So you could like stay for like at least 2 weeks. You could stay for a couple months. And it'd be free room and board. You would just have to sustain yourself and whatever they offer. They usually offer like fruits and vegetables and some stapled items. And basically, it's a work trade thing. And I found a few places that were pretty authentic in my opinion. And Colombia is literally like an hour away from Panama City. So you can drive, you can take transportation. Um, it's really not a big deal. So I was thinking like, what if I left my daughter, here with my mother and then, try and make it work in Colombia because I am all about cannabis in many forms. I would love to make salves and tinctures and, different products, especially I wish that, I could bring some to my grandmother here, but no. And I ain't trying to get messed up with the feds. So they're pretty strict here in Panama with this shit, which is really unfortunate because I'm like, y'all would make so much freaking money. Like, y'all are so stupid. Like, the canal is not the only source of income here. Like, come on, guys.
Seriously. We have actually, I found out that in Samoa, in some part of the mountains, weed grows naturally. And so it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, what does that mean? And so I can't wait to explore. I'm actually, if I ever do go, I'm gonna just expect the worst. Let's just say that. Because I don't once you expect the worst about something, and I used to live in Nicaragua. That's why I learned how to speak Spanish. And then I met some people from Panama with that. And I just have so much respect for Central America, South America. And I'm so sorry that California is really Mexico or most of the US. And that's a whole nother mess.
Oh
I
yeah.
won't go there, but I don't like when people brush history under the rug. Like, oh, it's just the pilgrims and it's like, no, let's just call it for what it is. So in these conversations, I tend to throw those in. But I just want to say kudos to you. You actually, thank you for keeping it real. Thank you for not just being like, with this flower in your ear and just on your hammock laying back. Although you can have some moments like that.
No, but we would appreciate that. Like, girl, where the drinks at? So is the cute boy about to roll through with the drinks? So
All that, but just make sure that you keep it
Not yet. Catch me in the next episode.
exactly.
Hey.
High Storm in the building. Motherhood Sex Marijuana. Rolling Papers in the building. Motherhood Sex Marijuana. Merch in the building. If you're here, we thank you and we most certainly appreciate you. But we want you to spread the word, tell a friend, subscribe, make sure and get yourself some rolling papers. And of course, if you want to sponsor an episode, if you want to be on an episode, if you have products you want to show us that we want to show the people, come through. You feel me? Motherhood Sex Marijuana Rolling Papers, merch, YouTube, subscribe, fight all the algorithms and let us get in. Yeah?
Exactly. Affirmations, baby. Affirmations. Hello.
Uh-huh. That's
Hello.
where we are.
Dude, it wasn't too long ago that myself and Queen Kai was in some shelters. You know what I'm saying? And like right now, you would have never thought it was just a few years ago type shit. And it's like there's something to be said about us. We're very resilient. And so
Mhm.
I think it's a great time to honor each other, give each other flowers while we're still alive. You never know. People that I went to high school and I grew up with are passing away. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about no little kids like are my age, right?
Mhm.
So it gives you this sense, it gives me this sense of like my mortality. And it makes me feel like what does matter? What does my time matter anyway here? Not in a depressive way, but also being mindful of my depressive states and
Yeah.
not just hiding it, but being like, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to just do nothing today. You know, I'm gonna allow myself just, if I gotta cry, I'm gonna cry, whatever. But it's gonna be this time where I'm feeling safe. And it's a privilege to be able to do that. It's right. I realized that. I was like, oh my gosh. When I was like busting out, just bawling my eyes out, I was like, I was holding so much in. And it's like when you holding so much in because you're just like going, go, 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 go. And
Yeah.
then you never really feel safe to ever do that shit. You too tired. It's just whatever. So it's like I realized and I thank God in that moment, like, thank you for this time where I can grieve. I grieved so many things, especially like, you know, my ex. And it's like people can say whatever they want about their exes or whatever, the most horrible shit. But at the end of the day, it was real for me, man. I put I put my all in that shit. And it's like I'm grateful that I did because I can't say any regrets. It's like I can never look back on that as much as it hurts that a motherfucker did not love me. And now that I look back and then I rewind that tape, I see now from different eyes what I didn't see in there because I was trying to not, either I wasn't loving myself or I was trying to play some hero complex, playing to that hero complex, or I was just blinded by my need to be with somebody. I need to keep it together with this person because shit, whatever, you know, I'm gonna take them as they are. But then God had revealed to me in a very, very real, heartbreaking way that this is not for you. And so I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? I think the Ruby 5.0 is rather amazing.
Hello, absolutely. Yes, please.
And the Kayla Power and her flower in Grove Streets
7.5.
you know, getting ready to head into 2025 with big money plans and big plans because again,
Yes.
What we must remember about motherhood is that we brought kids into the world that we want to you know, to love and honor us and respect our gangster. And in order to respect the gangster, you got to show them the gangster. And the gangster is that there's no give up in me. There's no I'm gonna just sit down and lay in spilt milk, or I'm just going, you know, strict, you know, constrict myself to one type of a way of thinking. So you know, and when it, you know, I have no other ways of trying to get to solutions. Nah, this is about I'm going to figure it out one way or the other by any means motherfucking necessary. And if anything you learn from me is that your mother, your parent, never gave a fuck, automatically was on go whenever it was time to go. And anytime that person got knocked down, they got back the fuck up and kept motherfucking moving, found a way to make a way. You know what I'm saying? Always stayed ready, so didn't have to get ready. You know what I mean? That's the main lesson you must continue within your children. That giving up is not a motherfucking option. Laying in this milk is not an option. We gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, money go a long way in Colombia. Let's figure it out in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure it out because maybe that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, you know what I'm saying, have your nice spot in Panama, but you know what I'm saying, make that money in Colombia. And either way, your baby is young enough to train that all that screaming extra fuck shit out of them. Like they're young enough to
Make sure she can kick
because at
some
the
ass.
end of the day, it's for the betterment of that child to have interactions with other children. You know what I'm saying? That's intellectual. That's intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Intelligence that needs to grow. The sense of self, the
Social.
sense of survival, the sense of figuring it out amongst people. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the sense
She
of
can
dealing
learn leadership.
part of these. That's something that's a benefit you giving your child. That's not a hindrance. You know what I'm saying? Make it having that child, you know what I'm saying, being around other motherfuckers. Yes, you can't trust everybody. Fuck no, you can't trust everybody. But at the same time, you gotta find somebody. If you know what I'm saying, you gotta let somebody in the circle. You know what I'm saying? In order to get that circle, you gotta let somebody in the fucking circle. And like I said, in that circle, you gotta make hard decisions. You gotta change the game. You because at the end of the day, you are dependent on you. That child is dependent on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and speaking of that, I feel like I can take pride in saying, yeah, I am raising my children, right? But am I training them? So we had an incident where, long story short, we missed each other when it was time for them to get off the school bus. They get off like a block and a half away. So however we missed each other in the interim turned out to be over like 2 hours of us missing each other. And what I feel like I failed at as a parent is giving them concise instructions in the event that we were ever separated. So it was my fault because I was late. So I had told them, I said, when you come back on, maybe, you know, I'm going to leave the door open because, like I said, it's a block and a half. They should know where it's at. They ended up panicking because I wasn't there and I had left the door locked. And they went to the post office, which I live right across the street from. Now, thank God, because I was praying and crying like a mad woman, telling God I was going to stop doing all kinds of shit if I found my babies, like shit, making all kinds of deals, feeling like a shit ass fucking parent, and calling the school like, oh, y'all need to help me with this. I'm freaking out. We got the principal on the phone with me. She's circling the block. I'm on the phone crying. And then these guys, I don't even know who the fuck they were. They were at the corner where there's like this corner store, and I've never seen them before. They were like, are you looking for your kids? And I'm like, yes. They're like, there was some kids that went to the post office saying that I was like, oh my fucking God. I ran, like I sprinted, right? And then, you know, it was just like, how could I'm like thinking, and before that, all of the bad thoughts in my mind was, shit, they're in some underground tunnel. Motherfuckers are going to try to sell them off. The fucking bus driver worked for the fucking, they've been watching us. I'm like, oh my God, I was a mess. And so it's just like, it was humbling because it's like, Ruby, like now we got a plan because we got family right there at the corner. Go to the restaurant, if anything. If you don't know where these people have my number. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then my kid was like, I panicked. I thought something happened to you. This never happened before. I'm not, you know, they're not used to me not being there. And I realized, okay, we went from traumatic to too much coddling, to where they need to be able to function without me, is my point. And so I was telling I didn't even tell my sister right away. I was just like, oh my God, I need to figure this out. But thank God everything was okay. And it can get really scary. But then I had to realize, dang, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
Don't
reminds
be
me.
hard on
I think
yourself.
last month or 2 months ago, I was like to my mother, "Can you please take my daughter like away?" And then she like projected off like I just didn't want to be a mother. And I'm like, "No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I need to bring myself back. I need some time alone. I need to know that I can do this. I can survive here. I need to handle things on my own. I need to be able to leave the house and come back and feel good about it. And I can talk to people. I can make my way. I can do what I can do like everybody else." And I was like, please take her. Please take her to Abuela's, which is here, and, you know, let
Hang
me do my
out.
thing. And I did. She took my daughter for like 4 or 5 days, and I was able to do a lot of things. I was able to have a peace of mind. I was able to have a normal routine, and I was able to sit with myself and not worry about the very basics of handling a toddler. And I ended up scheduling myself for what was it? Like a 3K. I went to it and I did it on my own. I talked to people, I engaged, I ended up trying to get an interview and I got the interview for a job at a call center. So I was able to put myself out there, and that's what I needed to bring myself back. And I told my mother, I am extremely grateful for what you did for me. You don't understand what that really did for me. The amount of time I was able to have, the ability to just breathe and recenter myself and to feel okay here, to not feel like I am this, you know, because I've been feeling very unperfect. And a lot of people like expect, because I have such a huge privilege from living in the United States, that I should be perfect, that I should have lots of money, that I should be fluent in all of my languages. I should be able to get a job ASAP. And I just had to just throw it all away. I don't care what anybody thinks. I am who I am. I'm going to be authentic. And what I have and hold is extremely valuable and precious. And I'm very passionate about myself. And I needed that goddamn time. And I don't care what it looked to look like to anybody that my mom took my child and has to, like everyone just seems very envious because they didn't have that. They didn't have that support. Even as we hold a multi-generational home here at my grandma's, they still did not have the support. They did not have the mothering. They did not have the fathering. And it just, I was like, forget it. I can't meet everyone's expectations. And I'm not trying to be no freaking people pleaser. I've had enough. And I'm not even trying to center any men in my life. I needed to decenter men. I needed to bring back me, the power that I hold. And I absolutely just, it's such an amazing thing. It was very significant change in my thinking. But as time went on, I realized there were still flaws. And, I can't always do that, but I can make it a point where I need to say that I need a timeout. I need to put the power back in my voice. And I'm still learning that. I'm still exercising my voice. I've been a very silent, quiet person, and it's very uncomfortable when people hear me. And I'm at the point where I don't care. I am extremely intelligent. I have been through some traumatic bullshit, and I'm healing the best I can in a shitty world. And I will let you know that it is shitty as much as it is beautiful. So, with that being said,
Yeah.
I am trying to
It's all doing
remain
it one day at a time, honey.
spider
All of us are doing it one day at a time because living in because America getting more expensive and more expensive every motherfucking day.
Mhm.
So trust and believe. I know what you're talking about, and at the end of the day, no matter who it is that's outside sitting on mouths high, calling themselves judge, passing judgment upon your life. They not living your life. Their judgment ain't paying no bills. It ain't putting no food in the fridge. It ain't doing
Exactly.
nothing. So whatever you saying, whatever you got to say, whatever thoughts you got about my situation, you could keep that shit. Like Moneybag Yo be saying, you could have kept that bullshit to yourself. You ain't had to tell me about it. Because again, none of that bullshit paying the bills. It's all about what you can do for self and what you can do for that child. You know what I'm saying? And take your time. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself grace. You know what I mean? And not every, you know what I'm saying? Not every day is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, something good. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying? There's days that you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to struggle and shit. And you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, pick yourself up and give yourself encouragement. You know what I'm saying? but not every day is the same. And at the end of the day, what I always say, everything happens for a reason. You in Panama for a reason. You
Exactly.
Panama for a motherfucking reason. So at the end, so take it as it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Take a real time to, you know, look over your situation, and you know what you got to do to fix it. You know what you need, and if you got your mama there, you know what I'm saying, helping you to the point where, you know what I'm saying, she could take the baby for a couple weeks where you could go handle some business, or if she even go back to America and she, you know what I'm saying, and she take the baby with her to America for like maybe like 2 months and shit. Give you time to you know, get your mentals together, get your money together, get your whole household together, so that when she comes back, you know what I'm saying, you're able to, you know,
be
establish
completely
a
present
whole
and
new schedule.
Yeah.
And let's just hope that, you know, while your mama has the baby, let her, you know what I'm saying, give her instructions to put, you know, put the baby in, you know, in social situations where she got to interact with other motherfuckers, daycare, you know what I'm saying, or little, you know, little gyms and shit, you know what I'm saying, where all they do is teach the class, teach the little kids how to flip all day and whatnot, shit like that. That, you know what I'm saying, anything that got to do with, you know, like karate classes, whatever it is, some kind
Yeah.
of interaction with other kids is a definitely a benefit to that child. It's a benefit to you. It's a benefit to that child. And at the end of the day, you could always come back to how, you know what I'm saying, to not being on the grid. You can always do that, but you already know that not being on the grid it takes money. You gotta have a nice ass bank account, so that so you don't gotta
resources.
you gotta have
Yeah.
your own resources. You gotta be, you know what I'm saying, you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta be able to you know, to support every part of your life. And so in order to get there, you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to work for that. It's not instant. It's not gonna be instant. It's definitely a work in progress. And because you believe in it, because you definitely want that for your life, that's your motivation. And because you want to show your child that that's what you giving her, that's what you want her to inherit, that's your motivation. And in that motivation, you're gonna make sacrifices. You're gonna have to do this and that, and do this and do that. But at
That's
the end of
right.
the day, your goal is to come back to what you want to do, which is independence within being off the grid. You know what I mean? So
What's your favorite food over there? Like, what's like if we was coming to visit, Pi know the business over there. But if you
Uh,
had a friend coming to visit and you was gonna help
um,
get them a meal, what would it be?
mm, a meal. Definitely the fruit. Fruit is huge here. Um, I've been making fried okra. It's been one of my specialties.
Okay.
They've been, and I tried growing it, but I wasn't successful. I don't know what happened, but fish. My uncle works at a fishing port, so ceviche would be on the table. Some fruit, papaya, mangoes,
Ooh.
avocado. Um, I've been kind of been very vegan-y, just because it's cheaper. So, but you know, when I'm hearing mi abuelas, they eat a lot of meat, so a lot of fish, um, pescado frito,
Mm.
plantains, y arroz con coco y
Mm.
guandules, so
What's
coconut
one
rice.
do
It's like a bean, like a little small bean.
Okay.
Um, Goya sells them if you want to check that out.
Okay.
I think it's like yellow peas or green peas or something like that. That they Goya sells it. Actually, I don't know if the West Coast sells Goya. So
Oh no,
I'll have
We
to get
do.
back to you on that.
no, the West Coast got Goya. You trust me. The West Coast got some shit that you will walk up to the register and the white chick that's at the register will be like, "Say word, you eat that? How that taste? How that taste? I ain't never taste that. What that is?"
When I was living in Nevada and Arizona, I could never find Goya products. Like nothing Goya. They didn't have any Goya.
Man, okay. That sounds good.
Anyways, it was good. I like that. I like, fish, a lot of fish. I wish I could eat an abundance of fish and ceviche, shrimp. Um, then people here make some good pizzas, so
Oh shit.
I might, empanadas, yuca. I love yuca.
I love you
Um,
good too.
what else? Yeah, I would have a full display. Um,
You should
yeah,
think about getting into the import and export business. So if you guys are fucking like if it's very cheap to get, like let's say someone gave you $500 to get seafood, and that you know what I'm saying, the exchange on that would be interesting. I don't know. Just thinking of ways to,
Girl, you said
I
seafood.
do like some dried fish or sun-dried fish. Like I've been wanting to do like some medicinal teas. Um,
Mm.
I have like this aphrodisiac, like medicinal stuff in my garden that I've been looking up. And so
Watch
like
out,
I've been really
Kayla.
into that.
Hey, wait, but hold up. Can you make cannabis oil? Because I remember when me and my mom's, when all of us was actually walking downtown, there was this man that was selling some kind of cannabis oil, and I literally looked at her and said, "Damn it, look at you did." Anyway, but yeah, we was walking and there was somebody selling cannabis oil, and I said to my mom, I said, "Okay, so they selling cannabis oil?" She was like, "Yeah, the oil is legal." I was like, "Oh, word." But yeah,
There you
Wow,
go,
I haven't come
Kayla.
across that yet.
yes, baby,
Come
I
on,
did.
Dad.
Your man
That's
was
the
down
city
there selling
life.
cannabis oil, and I was like, "Say word." And then I was,
Wow.
so what you use that for? And she was like, "No, because you could use that to like rub in pains and shit." I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You can't smoke that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't smoke
That's right.
Wow,
that. You
really?
can't smoke that. No."
Okay. I like
So,
that. And
yeah,
then
girl,
like
let me tell you something. All I'm
uh
saying is whatever motivation you need, we got you. That's all I'm saying. Don't think we ain't got you. We got you. You
we
definitely
got you, or we can ask somebody else who knows the business. You feel me? Like it's a network.
Yeah, I need that network. I used to have network and now I'm just like I have nobody. Like I have people, but like I don't
because
know. I don't have people.
you are growing weed in your backyard too, right?
No.
Why
You
not?
should.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't even know how you make weed.
All that land, girl.
I don't know, I don't know, maybe an in-house type of, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you got the weather, so you don't need, you know what I'm saying? Even if you
I
Yeah,
don't
want,
we
know what
ain't
type
talking
of
about no cartel
technology
shit.
these folks use here.
What's that?
But I don't know what type of technology they use
All you gotta do is
to.
put the plant in the ground, like
no,
get the
no,
I
phone.
meant
no.
like the
What I'm
Fed.
saying is, if like she put the plant in like a pot in her house, you know what I'm saying, and just like you know what I
Okay.
mean, or do it, you know what I'm saying, during the daytime, you make sure that motherfucker facing the sun, and then time to go to buy and you go to night now you
I
put
wish.
it in the corner where you know what I'm saying it's growing by itself. All I'm saying is, girl, you
Let
gotta
me
figure
get to
out ways.
Colombia first and see how things go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
All I'm saying is that we gotta figure out ways to get it to go.
yeah. We
'Cause
see how much we care about you.
we
We
love you.
Mhm.
trying,
Let you
every
sit here
way.
I don't know how to make money out here. No, we gonna figure it out, honey.
Hell yeah.
We gonna brainstorm. Let's get it. We gonna figure it out. Like I said,
Even if we just make you laugh while you figure it out.
weeks and go to
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I
See
love
if you
that.
can get a couple of plants for yourself so that maybe get a seed or two. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yeah.
can make our little wells in the house and
What? I love you so much.
Mhm.
I would take a flight out there when I can with Kai, and I would bring some seeds with me, allegedly.
Uh-huh.
No, it doesn't make sense, but you know.
I mean, we gotta remember that the sniffing dogs, they sniffing. But I'm just saying, because they
Sniff these nuts.
no, I'm just saying because I remember when I was walking off the plane and I was trying to walk past the dog and that motherfucker was like, nah, stop right there. Let him sniff your bag. I was like, oh,
That thing can't
Oh,
smell no
wow.
seeds.
okay. No, well, shit, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Right,
I'm just
right.
saying. I was nervous and all I had was some fucking vape pens in there. All I had was vape pens and I was just looking at
And
him like,
if they mix with like turnip
I
seeds or
was
some
just
shit
like,
like that, you know what I
my
mean?
bag. Please just get away from
Mhm.
my bag. Please just get away from my bag. Please just get away from
Y'all should definitely come down.
But no, of course, the
I would love that.
affirmation. Let me tell you something. The affirmation that I set for 2025 is that at some point I'm going back to Panama because the children want to go back to Panama. I would love to go back to Panama. I'm just saying the affirmations are there. The money ain't
Mhm.
there yet, but the
Oh
affirmation.
my God. You know what would
You
be
know what I'm
dope,
saying?
Kai? Is if we go from Panama to Nicaragua.
Well, shit, because you know Nicaragua, so you want
Is
to.
that, I mean, that sounds like
I'm
the
like,
place.
then like I don't know.
So
I ain't
great
never been
things
to
over. She's
Nicaragua.
like laughing like, bitch, that ain't no fucking
And
bus.
Ruby's
I'm
thinking
just
ahead
like, I
of her.
don't know about Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go to Colombia
Right?
with
I
her.
want to go there so badly. That's
I
mad.
would rather go to Colombia with her because on some real
Yeah,
shit.
we can go to Colombia.
Because at the end of the day, you do remember. I don't know what country was that homeboy told us. Remember the dude from Teveo, and he told us that he I think
Dominican Republic.
it was Dominican Republic. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't like weed. They don't like weed at all. Yeah,
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Apparently, in the Dominican Republic, you go to jail,
And you
jail
just need a
big time
plug.
Oh.
for a little ganja. I don't like that shit. I don't like
You
that
know
shit.
what? We should go all go to Jamaica. At one point,
Why
we
don't
should.
we and get dick
Yeah,
down
that
like
shit
real
is.
well? Well, not Kai, but we can.
No,
You and I
I
can go
damn
get
sure want to
dick.
go to Jamaica. No, stop playing with me. I want to go to Jamaica. I absolutely. Well, I want to go to Jamaica and take my the Jamaican accent that I've been
While you
practicing
and your
for
king up
years.
in y'all's hut doing the thing, you know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
what I'm saying? Take the Jamaican accent that I've been practicing for years because they're gonna tell
We're
me
gonna be
you
out
definitely
there.
were born here based on that accent, and I'll
I'm
be like, no,
fine.
I've been practicing for
We're gonna
years.
be like college, go
Like,
college style,
I
you know what I'm
really want to be on somebody's Jamaican beach smoking weed that actually came from a Jamaican farm somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But
saying?
the funny shit is that because I be watching Jamaican bloggers, I heard. This is what I heard. I heard that Jamaica that got America shipping weed to them. Like I don't understand why
Oh, that's
Oh,
sad.
America
wow.
shipping you weed.
Y'all
Why?
probably got some
Don't make
Wow.
bomb
sense
ass
to
weed
me.
over there.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Oh,
Natural and
Apparently,
shit.
weed is
that's a
imported.
no-no.
Apparently, weed is imported. That they got
Okay, I'm gonna put
dispensaries.
an affirmation out there.
Okay, what is that, Kayla?
Yes.
2026, we try to
Okay.
meet up in Jamaica.
Yes.
Nah, that's what's up.
My
Year
affirmation is that,
2026.
and the affirmation I'm putting out there for us three is unlimited wealth and abundance.
Unlimited
So
wealth.
much pouring over that we're giving to our communities. So
Yes.
that's my wish for us.
But in the midst of giving to our communities, we definitely are making trips to places like Jamaica, like Nicaragua, because obviously you want to go there, and of course we
Yeah.
need to go back to Panama because
And
again,
we're gonna go to Samoa too.
children, even my youngest baby, done wrote a paper in her class talking about she wished to go back to Panama. So
That's
the
right.
the family want to go back to Panama at some point. So
You know, we
as
can get.
the affirmation is in the air. The money just got to come in to cover it.
That's right. It's coming.
All right.
I
I
feel
feel
it
it.
in
I
my
see it.
cooch.
It's definitely
And
coming.
speaking of which, when we are, I'll be happy to take all of the fan club that likes, that wants to, party. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding.
Girl,
I just need to
girl,
get some. I'm
by
so
then, I am sure someone
kidding.
will find yourself, will find
Lord,
and give you what you need to
when I release this
calm
dragon,
down.
ooh,
I'm
Lord have
sure.
mercy.
You know what I'm saying? That's my affirmation for you. You getting finding somebody that is going to give you exactly what you need to calm the fuck down. And
Because
girl,
if I was a dude, I'd be having kids everywhere right now. I'd
Lord,
be at work because my dick would be at work too, and I'd have to be taking care of all these motherfuckers. It's a good thing that I have a pussy. I have more, you know what I mean? That there's some different parts of the brain that are working here, but I know how it feels to be. I feel like I can empathize with men a lot. Like if it's hard for me to hold back without saying something to these women, it must be very hard for you. So
listen. The
I
name,
hear
the
you.
game is that we are all our affirmations add up to we want quality, not fuckery, not bullshit. Don't waste our time. We want quality in our lives.
what's your
Quality.
values like? What is your spirit like? It has nothing to do with finances at all. I don't even know why I mentioned that. But girl, you looking hella sexy over there for real.
But the finances is got to be on the table, obviously, because that's one of the things that is harassing my girl right now. And we, like I said, we definitely at any point in time you need ideas and and brainstorming, and in order to make it happen, all you got to do is holler at us. And once this video goes live on YouTube, you'll be able to run back the video and
Yeah.
to tell yourself, okay, so this is what we talked about. This is what I should be focusing on. This is what I want to work on. This is what I want to give myself. This is my
Attracting.
daughter. This is what's going to happen. Like I said, not in 2026. We work because right now we working on 2025. We working on what's going to happen in the new year, and the new year is all about growth. It's all about success. It's all about us getting
Prosperity.
we want and what the fuck we deserve. You feel me? And we are here for each other. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a great freaking ending to this episode. But one thing I
Yes,
want to
thank
make
you.
sure and say that, honey, I love you not only for the fact of your spirit, your personality, and all that you bring, but also the fact that you are one steady motherfucker that definitely watches all our episodes.
Oh, we
And
appreciate you
we
so much.
absolutely appreciate that shit. You know what I mean? Because
It's so
I
dope.
damn sure, you know what I mean? Because I'll be doing my best to let everybody know that yeah, when we on. But when I send you the signal, you be like, girl, I'm already there. Like,
Yep, I am.
tell me, I
I'm in
already
the
am.
waiting line.
What you
No,
saying?
you bring so much
Told
beauty
us.
to the table, and that's like you bring so much heart and depth. One of my favorite conversations with you is the first one that we had with you, and I think I just knew that we would have an ongoing relationship, and you're
It's
obviously part of
beautiful.
the Motherhood Sex Marijuana brand, so
Yes.
we're all doing this thing. Time will tell in terms of the manifesting the luxury that will come with it, because it's just all a matter of time. But in the meantime, we really appreciate your presence with us. Like it's so priceless. You have no idea. It was very touching. When you were wearing the shirt, I came across your pic. I'm like, is she wearing the shirt? I was just like just so touched, and so
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
love
And
y'all.
then
I love what y'all represent and are doing and continue to do. So I believe in y'all just as much as you guys can believe in me.
that's right. And it shows.
Time, girl, big time. We believe
Thank
in you.
you.
You know what I'm saying? And we are thankful for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like I said, we are definitely here for you at any point in time.
Shout out to your ex too,
And,
He was
and,
supportive
and-
as
and
well.
hey, at the end of the day, he's one of the people that's going to see this glow. He's going one of these people that's going to see that, because again, the glow is coming. You working on that glow. You gonna make sure and plot that glow. You gonna plan and plot that shit like a motherfucker, because you ain't got no other choice but to do it for yourself and do it for that child. You ain't got no other choice.
And we're proud of you.
And we are proud of
Absolutely. Thank you.
everything you've done so far. And trust me, be proud of yourself for getting to this point. Because again, just the fact of having the mentality to get up and say, fuck this. I'm out. I'm going to Panama, and I'm gonna live the rest of my life in Panama. That alone, and then being off the grid, that alone, just keeping that path alone, you should be proud of yourself for handling that so far. Now, me telling you to divert is not even you getting off the plan, getting off that plan. It's me telling you got to do shit different to get back to what you really want to do. You know what I'm
I
saying?
hear you.
You
Yes, thank
know what I'm
you.
saying? You definitely got to set a new perspective, a new blueprint to get it back to what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's all about our benefits. It's all about benefiting you and benefiting that child. You know what I mean? So
I know one thing you missed, Kayla. I'm gonna guess something. You
What?
missed from the US that BBD or BBC or BBD.
Hey, there's some out here. I just gotta go to certain times to find them. So they
Once you
here.
find them, you let me know because that's when I'm gonna have to pay a visit. That's another conversation.
Lord, girl, no.
I want all the dark ones.
Yeah, I've got a bad itch, and I'm trying to keep it cool all the time. So it's like, wow, all right.
And see, that's and again, even as you work on keeping it cooler and maybe picking up something to slide into, you gonna need time off from the child in order to slide into something. You don't
Kayla's straight. She ain't,
need
she
time
ain't
to yourself.
bi or nothing. So
Self
she
love
can't,
is important, and things are important, and certain
you just have
releases
to have
are
the right one, Kayla.
certain releases are very, very important. That's how we live. That's how we continue. That's how we don't kill people. That's how we don't kill people.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? We don't kill people because we have had certain, releases in our life. I'm just saying.
Yes. Oh, I hear you. It's gonna be a big release.
That's right. And we would love to hear about it. And
Absolutely.
we're
Yes,
gonna
I
at this
gotcha.
point, you fam, so we gonna let you have your privacy and whatnot. But dude, tell us as many gory details about your path as you possibly can, please.
And at the end of the day, telling us the gory details is literally just giving yourself release. It's just you giving yourself time to say, I want to just get this off my chest so I can, figure out a way to the positive path, the new path, that the shit that's gonna get me off the ground and tell life you hit like a bitch. The fuck? Because then it just you hit like a bitch.
It's like rain off the rubber ducky's back.
Like, let's go. You know what I mean? And on that note,
Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the motherfucking building with Kayla.
Flower, yes.
Uh,
Girl, this is a good episode. Thank you for being in the building.
thank you.
Yes, we will be in your corner for your growth. Absolutely.
Hers up, Ma.
Thank you.
Okay.
Gracias.
De nada.
Love you, Queen.
We love you. Love you too, Ma.
Mm-hmm.